of a proprietary formula developed specifically for the treatment of inflammation and general muscle aches and strains. I recommend Blue Goo for my patients coping with hip and knee pain before surgery, especially bursitis and tendinitis. Give Blue Goo a try. Call 1-888-330-0123 and you'll receive a 1-week supply of Blue Goo absolutely free. The makers of Blue Goo are even paying the shipping. The number again is 1-888-330-0123. If you want more information on Blue Goo, visit online at www.dothegoo.com.
Now available at select Big 5 stores near you.
Welcome, folks, to Fifth Street Sports on Sports Byline SB Nation Radio Network, also on the American Forces Network. We're here on a beautiful Wednesday afternoon. I'm be joined today with my co-host Oklahoma Brian and Florida Rick. Guys, we had a good day yesterday. Rick, you got there with your Houston. We barely covered, but it got the money, and of course Brian with his Georgia Southern. That was pretty well in hand most of the way. But how do you guys feel today? Seems like we got a great show prepared.
I don't even remember giving out Georgia Southern, but I'm going to take credit for it.
I gave out Georgia Southern.
Oh, was that Rick? Okay, I forgot.
Brian actually gave out Santonio. Then we let him know how it was 82% public, but he was a little apprehensive at that point. But Santonio was an easy cover. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Easy cover.
Wow. Well, yeah, see, there's another good day. I think we're back on track, fellas.
Mm-hmm.
I noticed anything
very fun night.
Anything different about me today, Frank?
Gosh, I was trying. Well, you got the same background there. Anything? Oh, look at that haircut, brother. You got a nice haircut. Wow, nice job.
Ain't no special. And I don't know. Is this a sign of that I'm getting old? The last 3 times I've been, they've cut my eyebrows. Does that happen when you get old, or is?
No, what?
I don't know if I've got something.
Did you have a little white or gray coming through them?
I guess so. Yeah. I guess that's part of getting old. Huh?
Yeah, we're officially old now, Bryce.
I think so. I think when they start doing your ears is when they start finding hair in your ears, or the guy says, by the way, you got a lot of nose hair. Then you can start.
I got nothing to look forward to. All right.
But when you're really old is like my grandpa. He looked like he looked like a cue ball. So when he used to walk into a bar, no, seriously. So when he used to walk into a barbershop, the guy would say, "What do you need? Directions?" That was the actual truth, my grandpa. But no, buddy, you got a long way to go. Anyway, so when we come back, we got a real good program. We got something. Brian, what do we got cooking? The college playoffs, right?
Yeah, we'll talk a little bit about. So there is going to be a meeting to discuss reformatting the college football playoffs on January 7th. We'll talk about some of the possibilities that are being kicked around.
Gotcha, guys. Time out here. Fifth Street Sports back in 3 minutes.
It has been said that everyone has a book in them. But do you have the time or the ability to write your book? Maybe you picked up some skills or had a life experience that you want to pass on in the form of a book to help others. Maybe you want to leave an autobiography for your family. Or maybe you've built a successful business and you want to share your story. At Dorrance Publishing Company, we have professional writers who can help turn your book idea into a finished manuscript quickly and affordably. A Dorrance ghostwriter can provide as much or as little help as you need to complete your book. You'll work directly with your ghostwriter to finish your book faster than you ever could on your own. It's easy to become a published author. Call Dorrance now to learn more. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. 800-485-6003. Call right now. That number is 800-485-6003.
If you or someone you love suffers from drug addiction, now is the time to utilize your private health insurance PPO plan. If eligible, receive up to $30,000 or more in substance abuse benefits with low or no out-of-pocket cost. We are the National Treatment Network, the premier drug and alcohol treatment referral service operating 24/7. We help connect you with facilities nationwide that accepts PPO private health insurance for substance abuse. If you have PPO substance abuse coverage and you need immediate admittance to a medical detox or residential rehab treatment center, call us now. Call our live referral helpline today. The call is free. This program is not available to Medicare or Medicaid customers.
Call 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. 800-296-1252. That's 800-296-1252. Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low Cost Airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
All right, folks, we're back. Fifth Street Sports. I'm Frank Perez. I'm joined by Florida Rick and Oklahoma Brian, my two co-hosts. Well, guys, we got a real nice segment over here. I'm going to throw it to you guys because I have a lot of good notes for the next segment on some stuff that got sent over from Chris. Hang on. Something in real quick before we go to this college football. We got something in from Fifth Street Social. Jimbo Mullins, thanks for that Georgia Southern play last night. I went big on them. Do you have any college plays tonight? I guess that would be directed at Rick. Rick, what do you think?
Yeah, there's just a couple, but I mean, we can discuss this.
Yeah, nice try, Jimbo Mullins. You're gonna have to wait till the end of the show.
That a boy, Brian. We got it. We got to keep them tuned in. The last segment is when we're going to give out all of our, and we got some great stuff today. So you guys got to stay plugged in. Sorry, but you got to put up with us till then.
This is like this is like the weatherman in really small markets. The only reason people tune in is to find out how much snow there's going to be, and the weatherman comes on like 4 or 5 times during the telecast and teases you, but only at the very end does he tell you that you're going to get 1 to 2 inches.
That's right, brother. Well, Brian, why don't you take the ball with this? You got some good info on this new thing that they're proposing in college football.
Yeah, so I think we're all kind of collectively as a sports nation, we've kind of come to a consensus. I think most of us have that this current playoff system that we have with 4 teams is really not accessible. It's not realistic for most college football teams. We're basically, we're year in and year out. We've been doing this now for this is the 4th or 5th year that we've been with this format. Yeah. And it's pretty clear that it's every year it's going to be the iconic elite teams, heavily influenced by SEC teams, and maybe a few kind of the Power 5 second tier teams that have an outside chance. And it's really not a good system for college football. For the other schools that play Division I football, we need a more expanded and a lot of these university presidents, particularly the Pac-10, the Big Ten, a little bit, are realizing, hey, this is absurd. We're what's the point of this if we we basically have to have a perfect season just to have a chance to make it into the into this 4-team playoff. I won't call it a BCS. Got one of our listeners has been correcting us because we keep using the term BCS, although I still like that term.
What is the correct term?
Rick?
College football playoff.
It doesn't have the same ring as BCS.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I'll still call it the BCS.
I still like saying, just like I still say Division I and Division I AA when it's FBS
Right.
and FCS, but who actually calls it that? It's Division One, Division One. It always will be.
Gotcha. All right,
Yeah,
Brian. So
that's right.
so plug us in, brother.
So, okay, so here's the deal. A bunch of college presidents have kind of been talking amongst themselves, and we're going to actually have a meeting on January 7th to reconsider where we're going to go as a sport. January 7th happens to be the day of the national championship game, by the way, but they're going to meet that morning, and it's not as simple as you would think that you just agree to go to 8 teams. There's a lot of moving parts. One of the most difficult issues is that ESPN has already paid for the rights through 2026. So there's a handful of up until this point, a lot of universities that have argued, hey, we'll go to 8, but let's go to 8 when it's time to renew our contract with ESPN so we can make them, pay for it, but pay an exorbitant fee. But there's a increasingly large group of college presidents that have basically said, hey, we can't wait. We can't wait another 8 years to let this thing stay dysfunctional. So there's a series of proposals that have been suggested. And basically, there's 2 basic camps here. One would take the playoff to 8 games. The other would take it to 6 games. So you'd have the top 2 teams would have a bye. I think there's a lot more support for the 18 playoff system, but you've got some logistical issues. That's another week of football. So what are you going to do? Do you shorten the regular season? Do you expand the season? I mean, now we're potentially looking at as many as 15. You'd be looking at 15 games for the 2 teams that make it all the way to the final. Is that too many football games for an amateur athlete, who's not getting paid? We see every year the number gets bigger and bigger of guys that just check out during the postseason and announce they're done playing because they're worried about damaging their NFL draft status. So now we're potentially looking at a 15-game season. I don't know. Do you think that's too long?
Actually, it'd be 16-game season, Brian, because there's 13 now when you include the conference championships.
Conference champion.
You add 2.
Yeah.
So you're talking about a 16-game season, but it is, I guess, just one more game, but it's important. I think everyone wants it. I think the colleges want it. I know the fans want it. It is the most fair option.
I think the players want it too.
Yeah, I think there's.
What do you think if they ever cut the regular season down to 10 games and then they made it a thing just like the college football thing the college basketball thing with 64 teams? National tournament.
The problem with cutting the regular season is most teams don't have, half of the schools don't have winning records, don't go to the postseason. So, is it to limit those guys to only 10 games? Remember, in high school football, it's routine around the country for teams to play 15 games to go deep into the playoffs. So, but there is some TV issues. They really like the date they have now. The thing about TV, about the TV real estate, the calendar, is there is something scheduled for every single weekend of the year. So if you were to move it if you moved the championship back into the middle of January, you're competing with the NFL playoffs potentially. You've got, you've got the issue of what if your star player just bombed his final exams? Now the spring semester started, the guy is not eligible. So you've got to deal with the eligibility issues of players in the spring. I suspect but I think we're talking about one more game. I think we can fit it in there. So here are the 2 competing formats for the 8-team system. I'm sure there'll be a few other tweaks, but the 2 kind of dominant ideas are the following. One is you would take all 5 conference champions of the Power 5 conferences, plus you would take the best team of kind of of just the ugly pig conferences, the Mountain West and America West and Conference USA and all of those conferences. You take the best of those which right now those guys are guaranteed a New Year's Day bowl. Now we would guarantee those guys a spot into the final 8, and then we would have 2 at-larges. So, like, if you were to take that format right now, you would basically get. So you would, in addition to the 4 teams we have now, you would add 8, you would add UCF, you would add Georgia, and you would add Washington or Michigan, depending on how you format it. That's one method, is to take conference champions. The other method is to actually go and take the best 8 teams and potentially still have a carve out for the UCFs of the world. So you have kind of a ugly duckling lane for UCF, and then just the 7 best teams in terms of rankings. Or there's also a third hybrid method where instead of taking the conference champion, you would take the highest rated team from each conference. And so tell me what you think. What do you to reward conference champions, or do you think you should go with the best team for a particular conference?
Gosh, I don't know. We got 20 seconds, so I don't think we can expand too much on this right now. We can on the next segment. I'm going to think about this.
Sure.
So that's for the 8. I think the best 8, you know what I mean, would do it.
And do you include UCF?
You got to. Guys, we got to wrap it up. We got to take a timeout. Right back. Play Street Sports. Don't go anywhere.
Attention business owners. Are you struggling while waiting for your customers to pay on their net 30, 60, or 90-day invoices? Can't get a business loan? Have no equity? Bad credit? Or maybe no credit at all? Then you need to call AmeriFactors right now. AmeriFactors will give you cash for your invoices, and there's nothing to pay back. We simply buy your account receivables, and if those clients don't pay on the invoices, we take the loss. We give you funds based on your account receivables, not your credit. And 98% of all applicants are approved. It's that simple. With AmeriFactors, there's no more waiting for your customers to pay. We give you the funds up front, then we wait for your customers to pay us. Fund your business today. Call AmeriFactors right now.
800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. 800-847-1183. That's 800-847-1183.
Where do you want to go on a vacation or honeymoon? The Caribbean, Europe, Hawaii, Mexico? How about Disney or a cruise? At Superior Cruise and Travel, we've got you covered. We'll assign you your own travel concierge. They'll help you design a custom vacation plan that you can't find online. And the service is completely free. You can't compare the value of this to any other online travel company. We can help you plan a custom vacation anywhere in the world. We even offer payment plans with no credit card required. Now you pay off your vacation on your time schedule. Call now and mention the promo code RADIO and save up to $500. Book your custom trip. Call Superior Cruise and Travel now and talk to one of the highest rated travel agencies in the country with a 5-star A+ online rating.
800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. 800-570-9631. That's 800-570-9631.
Being a new parent means every high and low you can imagine. But Evos can make it all easier with a baby monitor you can trust. Go to myevos.com. That's MYEVOZ.com to see how Evos can be the eyes and ears of your nursery. Evos works with your smartphone to provide a live audio and HD video connection to your baby anytime and anywhere. On a date, at work, away on business, even serving your country overseas, Evos helps you never miss a moment. Whether your baby is with a sitter, your partner, a grandparent, or a friend, you'll be right there too. And with unique features like smart alerts that know the difference between a barking dog and your baby crying, extensive sleep tracking data, and state-of-the-art security features for your peace of mind, Evos is the smart baby monitor for connected parents. And enter the code SPORTS at checkout for $20 off. That's myevos.com. MYEVOZ.com.
All right, folks, we're back on Sports Byline SB Nation Radio Networks. This is Fifth Street Sports with Florida Rick, Oklahoma Brian, and Frank Perez. Guys, we're talking about the college football, the new proposed format. Well, here's my vote. I thought about it over the 3-minute break. I'm going to go with the top 8. What about, let's ask Rick. What would you do, Rick, in this spot?
I really like the idea of the 5 conference champions, because this isn't like college basketball where if you're a conference champion, you can potentially have 4 wins in the year and then still win your conference championship. You have to be a very good team. You have to many wins in the conference just to get to the conference championship. So you're not going to have any fluke teams. I guess if this year, say if Utah had won, that kind of would have been as fluky as you're going to get. But for the most part, you're only going to have top 10, top 15 teams there. So I would take those 5 conference champions and then the next 3 best teams. If that includes us 12, 13-0 UCF or 13-0 Boise, then so be it. But I wouldn't give them. They would have to be undefeated to even have that shot. But I wouldn't give them preferential treatment unless they were undefeated and they had at least a couple quality wins in there as well. So for this year, I would take the 5 conference champions, and then I'd add Georgia. UCF would definitely have to be included, and I would probably close it out with Michigan.
Wait a second, but see, now you're leaving yourself wide open here for discrimination policy because you've already singled out 5 conference championships, 5 conferences. So let's start with that.
Oh, sorry, I read names. So
what would the 5 conferences be? Obviously, SEC, right? Big Ten.
Well, the Power 5. So.
Okay, no, just wait, because then you're going to get groups like the ACLU will come in here and say, how come we're not one of the 5? You're always going to get.
How come the ACLU? Right. I got to do this for you, Frank. The ACLU champion would probably not be a very good football player.
No.
Probably ACLU champion's probably about 5'6". 140 pounds and wears glasses.
Right.
That guy doesn't want any bit of Alabama.
But that organization would come in and say, we are going to protest against conference discrimination. There would be conference discrimination here because all right, let's get the 5 conferences. Yeah. You would have SEC, the Big Ten. What's the other
Big 12,
one?
Big 12, Pac-12.
Big 12.
Big 12, Pac-12, right?
Uh-huh.
And then who's the 5th one? ACC.
Yeah.
Okay, now
yeah.
Who would start declaring conference discrimination? Like, how come we're on the B list?
I don't think anybody would.
I don't think anyone would. And this, you know what you could do, Frank? You could do like you could make it so it's the Big 5 without actually stating them. You could say, we're going to take the 5 highest conferences with a highest Sagarin or RPI or some kind of mathematical indexing, so that you identify mathematically the 5 strongest conferences, take their champions. There now, if the ACLU, has a tremendous year, then you could potentially their champion.
No.
Although that's not a game I want to watch.
But wouldn't it be pure and then like less chances for people saying, well, how come our conference didn't make the top 5? And for like kind of being on the B list there, wouldn't it just be like the top 8 teams would go?
I like Rick's idea with the one exception. I think you have to have the ugly duckling. You got to have like the people love to see the UCF or Utah State or Memphis or wherever that, special turd of the year team is. I want that team in there.
As long as they're undefeated. I think if they have,
I don't even think they have to be undefeated. No.
All right.
I'll take them with one.
Well, but one thing that it would help clear up, like let's say you did that and you took this UCF and you made remember when Boise State used to go undefeated or used to get one of those other ones. Let's say 3 or 4 years in a row, that ugly duckling that went 12-0 that never had a prayer before goes in there and gets hammered. At least everybody would say, well, that's why they didn't make it before because, and now you know what happens. You know what I mean? But if they do, and they do make a run.
It happens in basketball. We still enjoy watching the basketball tournament when Duke beats by 47 points in the first round. Still fun, right?
Yeah, but what happens with these Butlers and all these other schools that actually make it to the finals all the way through? Remember 7 or 8 years ago?
Oh yeah.
Yeah. Well, Loyola Chicago last year. George Mason.
Yeah. Sure. Maryland, Baltimore County. Now I got a question for you though. So okay, so I think we three of us see this differently. I'm similar to Rick, except for I want the ugly duckling spot. But here's my question, and I do like the idea of rewarding conference champions, but how does that affect scheduling? So if you are UCLA and you know that your path to this champion is solely going to be determined by winning the Pac-12, are you more or less incentivized to round out your schedule with competitive non-conference games?
Correct.
I was thinking about that too. Yeah, you're going to see a lot less quality non-conference matchups.
Right, because you could go like 9-3, but you won your conference.
Well, there's a counter argument. My initial thought was the same thing, but actually, there could be a counter argument, which is you load up your schedule with difficult teams, because you lose to Alabama non-conference. Not that Alabama would play you, but let's say you lose to actually I can't use any SEC teams because they're with non-conference games. But let's say you schedule, I don't know, Syracuse, okay? If you win that game, it's a good Oklahoma. Oklahoma plays a lot of good non-conference games, right? Say you play Oklahoma. That Oklahoma win is a potential resume builder if you win. And if you lose, it doesn't count. You're still alive to win the Pac-12. So maybe there's an incentive to load up with difficult games, because now you're basically, it's like if you're playing poker, you're trying to play for the three of a kind, but also for full house. You got the strong resume going and the win the conference scenario. So maybe we'd actually get better non-conference games.
Gosh, but there's so many openings here. Like you could actually win your conference. Let's say for some reason, there was an aberration in the Big Ten, and you won your conference with 3 losses, and now another team in another conference that wasn't eligible goes 12-0. Say, wow, you had 3 losses. We went 12-0, and I didn't make it because I'd never had a prayer, because I never had a chance, And then meanwhile, you had 3 losses. I think you got to take the best 8, guys. Too many windows there for, finagling kind of schedule, saying like, we don't care what we do as long as we win our conference.
So what if we take the best 8 and we never get a Pac in there? That's kind of, geographically, that's kind of disappointing that we are leaving out the whole West Coast.
No, you take the best 8. Like UCF would make it this year with being in the top 8, don't you think?
Yeah, but I'm saying that we could go 2 or 3 years without having a Pac-12 team in the top 8. I mean,
well,
totally possible that the Pac-12 doesn't crack the top 8, the top 10 in a lot of years. Am I wrong, Rick?
Well,
definitely wrong.
Do you think that UCF can beat everybody in the Pac-12?
No, I'm not saying that. No, but I'm saying that those are both teams on the very outer margin of cracking this.
Dang.
And if you're not careful, you could end up with neither one of them in the final 8.
Right. Wow. There's there's a lot of homework to this, but I think you're going to get less of a chance to have any kind of tricky discrimination things, or saying like, boy, I had 3 losses, you had none, because we weren't really eligible. It's kind of like Edgar Martinez. He can't make the Hall of Fame as a designated hitter, right? So if he doesn't make the Hall of Fame as a designated hitter, then as soon as they come into baseball, they should say, by the way, designated hitters are not allowed in the Hall of Fame. If you're a pure designated hitter, you're ineligible for the Hall of Fame. So just like they would just say, like everybody besides those 5 conferences are almost ineligible for the BCS, or no, for the college football playoffs.
Right, but my argument is that we have that ugly duckling spot, so that you're also ran conferences.
But what if there's 2 ugly ducklings? What if there's 2 ugly ducklings?
Well, then one of them could still get in. We have wild cards. We still have 2 wild card spots. So you got 5 conference champions, an ugly duckling, and then 2, so they could still get one of the wild card spots.
They could both get in, yeah. If they both go undefeated, say Boise State and UCF go undefeated in the year, they both win their conference championships. They can both make it in a year like this if that happened.
Yeah.
So, but now what if ESPN doesn't want to pay for this? What if they don't want to open up the wallet and spend, write out a check for these 4 extra games? What does college football do? You still go ahead and play
Somebody
them?
will.
Well, could
somebody
besides ESPN host a first round? See, ESPN gets the next 2 rounds. Give the first round to somebody else.
That's actually,
Yeah,
right.
Yeah.
There you go.
I mean, that's
Oprah Network.
CBS, Fox would do it for sure.
Right. Just say who wants it. The highest bid for the first round. ESPN, we're not cheating you. You guys still get your 3 games. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Maybe Sports could host the first 4 rounds.
Yeah.
That would be funny. Sports gets
believe me, we're gonna hear a lot on this. So then, we got about 30 or 40 seconds. So would you guys totally exclude then the 6 versus the 6 teams instead of 8 teams?
I hate the 6-team format. Yeah. If you're going to expand, let's be inclusive.
Yeah.
Then you're going to get bye issues.
Leave it at 4.
Yeah. Then you're going to get issues with the bye. Like should the 3 team be the 2? Forget it. You're going to get a lot more stuff. We'll see what happens. But I think that as far as television coverage, you just offer it up to another network. Say who wants the first round. You know what I mean, guys? We got
plenty of bidders.
We got to take a timeout. We'll be right back. 5th Street Sports. Don't go anywhere. Back in 3 minutes.
Hey, this is Shaq. When I was playing ball, our team doctors helped me overcome pain with something called TENS therapy. And Icy Hot Smart Relief is that same kind of therapy. You just push a button and whoosh. Smart Relief sends waves of relaxing pulses that immediately start blocking pain. Back, hip, knee, or shoulder pain. Even works for hours after you turn it off. Man, this Smart Relief so smart they should call it Shaq Relief. Ooh, I like that one. Somebody write that down for me. Turn on Smart Relief and turn off pain. Get my lawyer on the phone. You need to patent that.
Use only as directed.
Do you use the blue pill to charge your sex life? Have you been thinking about trying the blue pill? What if we can promise you the same results for less than $3 a pill? If you're paying $20 a pill for the other pills, you're getting taken to the cleaners. Our pill delivers the exact same results for less than $3. We'll do the math for you. You'll save more than $16 a pill for the same results. Want more? We'll give you 40 blue pills or 40 yellow pills for $99 and add 4 more pills free. You save more than $500. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to know what to do next. You need to call and get your 44 pills for just $99. Stop overpaying for the other blue pills. Call us and start saving a ton of money for the exact same results. Ordering is fast and easy with your pills delivered to your door in a non-marked package. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. 800-223-0992. That's 800-223-0992. Want to fly somewhere? Looking for cheap flights or cheap tickets? Then call. That's right. Call the low-cost airline travel hotline now for prices so low we can't publish them anywhere. Low Cost Airlines has all kinds of cheap travel deals. Fly domestically and save up to 75%. You can even fly internationally and save even more. Yes, fly anywhere in the world and save a lot of money on your plane tickets. We'll even save you money with cheap travel deals on hotels, rental cars, even complete travel packages. So don't book your tickets until you call us first for the absolute cheapest prices on U.S. and international airline tickets and hotels. Call right now for prices so low they can't be published. Travel experts are here 24/7 to help. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. 800-754-4531. That's 800-754-4531.
Are you wasting hundreds of dollars each year on contact lenses? Would you like to be able to see clearly again without reading glasses? Make the smart choice with IQ Laser Vision. Their team has performed over 150,000 LASIK and SMILE procedures, and with 11 locations on the West Coast and special out-of-town packages, there is a solution just right for you. See why they have a 5-star rating on Yelp. Check out IQLaserVision.com. That's IQLaserVision.com.
IQ Laser Vision.
Guys, Fifth Street Sports, Frank Perez here. We're on Sports Byline, SB Nation Radio Network. By the way, don't forget about our Fifth Street Advantage program if you want to go there. We're also, we're going to give out a lot of these picks, but not all of them. Some of them are on the Fifth Street Advantage. But, guys, we're back. We talked 2 segments on the new playoff thing that Brian's going to be doing a lot of work on, I hope. But I wanted to mention some numbers. I got something brought in here during the break from one of our Fifth Street residents, Chris, about the amount of handle and the way that this sports betting is taken off in New Jersey. These guys handled $330 million in November. Nevada in 2017 in the whole year handled $528 million. So far since June, New Jersey's handled $928 million. They didn't even, remember, since June, that means that doesn't include the Super Bowl, March Madness, a lot of the NBA playoffs and championships. Wow, it could be almost a $2 billion. So within 1 year, New Jersey could do almost 4 times what Nevada did on a typical year like 2017. Shame on Nevada. These guys have had a 50-year lead on these guys. And now they come in and do 4 times as much, some random city. Crazy.
Wow.
Don't you think?
That is crazy.
Amazing stats there, yeah.
Amazing stats, and then you got money from California, Vegas, because Vegas, look at it this way, it's 2018, okay? Everybody here bets $1.10 in cash, not on the not with cries that we have credit, reduced juice and everything. $1.10 in cash. It's 2018, and at the Gold Coast, they'll give you $300 on $1.15 NBA first quarter bet. Come on, man. You kidding me? It's $1.15 lines, NBA first quarter, $300 max, $200 max on some stuff.
Yeah, it's terrible, and they've squandered a pretty unique position that they had in the world of betting, and they're on the road to becoming irrelevant. But I have to wonder, if books and if casinos in Vegas, I should say, for a long time, I've questioned whether they really wanted to be in the business. I think it's kind of like a grocery store that has a produce section, not because they like having a produce section, but because they know that if they don't, you're going to go shop next door to the guy that does. So they have to have it. And I kind of think that's been the mentality in Vegas for a long time is they have the sports book just to say they have it. Look at, when you walk into the average property in Vegas, there's some exceptions, but for the most part, if you were to walk into, I know you know the town well because you live there and you're walking in sports books every day of the year, but take someone from out of town like me or Rick. We walk into a Las Vegas casino, and it's not easy to find the sports book. It's like, it's like a maze. It's always at the back, and you have to, dodge a bunch of slot machines and take about 15 turns. And finally, it's like trying to find the, where a pirate buried his treasure. It's at the very, very back. Clearly, if they wanted more handle in Vegas, they would make these things easier to get to. They would put them near the parking lot so you could pull up and come in and bet. They would have offered a more robust selection of betting on apps and the internet, which they haven't. So
yeah,
I'm not sure they want it.
Well, let me fail to mention you one thing. In November, the $330 million that was bet in New Jersey, just about 75% of it was on the apps. Now, here's a question I got to ask you guys. Before this year that the Supreme Court legalized it in New Jersey, who was the one that, remember on the apps here in Nevada, you can only bet within the state of Nevada, right?
Sure,
who decided that? Nevada? Or why didn't Nevada let people from Mississippi bet or Florida bet? Or was it Florida that didn't want to let them bet, or was it Nevada that didn't want to let them bet?
It was Nevada basically covering their own
ass. That's triple shame on them. They seen this storm coming for years. They should have said, listen, they're going to be betting. The people, when New Jersey gets legalized, they're going to bet within New Jersey. 8 years ago, they should have just said, it's legal inside the U.S. You can bet William Hill from Pennsylvania, from Toledo, anywhere into Nevada, into a Nevada app. Why
Yeah,
didn't
we
they
should
allow that?
probably do it. It's probably something we should schedule. We should probably get a lawyer or a law professor that has a specialty in gambling, because that would make for a good show. I don't know. I'm not
So now they missed all this money.
qualified to.
They missed all this money because they should have been able to let everybody bet with like, what are they scared about? So now instead they're so smart that they limit it to within the state of Nevada, so they get the sharpest bettors and the sharpest people everywhere around. That so then they get to hold their 3 or 4%, and within like 8 years ago they could have had this in New Jersey and Delaware and holding 10, 14, 15% with all these terrible bettors. No, but not them. They wanted to keep it to Nevada.
I think there was a pretty serious threat of being sued. Not just the enterprise offering the bet, but I think the state of Nevada was also very fearful of offering sports betting to states where it wasn't legal. Because you remember the Bradley bill, the bill that made it illegal in the other 49 states. It was very specific that sports betting would only be allowed in Nevada, nowhere else. I can't see how
All right, there you go.
letting a guy in Tennessee bet on his iPhone into a Nevada.
They could have did like Pinnacle. They could have did like Pinnacle and like let them use a VPN. You know.
The Pinnacle doesn't let you use a VPN, Frank. Pinnacle claims they don't know anything about that.
I know.
But
anyway,
like
no, you're right. I mean, it was the other states that it was illegal, and so yeah, what the hell was I talking
and think about this from logically. If that was the legal precedent that we operate under, that the actual remember from there's a real legal philosophical debate within betting. Does the bet take place where you place the bet geographically, or where the server is that accepts it? If we go with the second of those two scenarios, now we've just let the offshore world off the hook. We basically just acknowledge that offshore betting companies are completely in a safe status. So that would never happen. We'd never take that mindset where you can bet remotely into another state.
Right. There would have been a lot of suing going on. I'm sure they would have thought about it. Well, guys, we got some time here now. What can we have the fellas make some money on this today? Rick?
Frank, there was something that I was talking about with Bri earlier, and I haven't even mentioned to you, and I think your eyes are going to light up when I do. But do you realize in the last 3 days in the NBA, favorites are now 14-4 against the spread, 17-1 straight up. And tonight we got an 11-game full NBA slate, which I think you are thinking the same thing I'm thinking, and it's going to be a big dog night in the NBA. The favorites have just been covering and winning it. It's just exponentially large numbers. This happens a couple times a year, and then it always comes crashing down that next night when there's a big slate. You just see it happened a couple weeks ago because we had the same discussion, and that was and actually it was last week, and that was a night I gave out like two small favorites, and they both lost. I think the dogs went like 9-2 in the night. The dog money lines had won, I think, like 7-4 with a couple, like plus 450 money lines all winning outright. Yeah. So, I'm not going to make that same mistake again tonight. It's hard to recommend just blindly bet a schedule of dogs and nothing else. But if you are going to bet tonight, stick to the dogs. In the NBA, we're just talking about exclusively. If you want to go over a couple specific games that I like, the first one is going to be 540 Washington getting 3 at home against the Celtics. Celtics are still banged up. They are going to have Kyrie Irving should be back. Hayward and Horford are still missing. But Washington's kind of turned a corner. They've been playing much better basketball of late. Boston did get that big win the other night against New Orleans in that game that we actually gave out another NBA loser, which, I'm still getting over all these NBA losers we gave out there in a couple of days. But, I think Washington night's a good play to cover the 3 and to win money line at around plus 140, plus 145 outright. And then another game that I'm looking towards tonight is game 543 Detroit getting 5.5 at Charlotte. You can get about plus 215 on the money line this game as well. And I think this is another situation where dogs are just going to be barking all over the place tonight. Choice had a couple rough losses. I think they get together tonight at Charlotte and take care of business, and I do think they win this one outright too. So 2 dogs I think are going to cover and win out. And just looking down the board, up and down the board, for me to sit there and pick any favorites tonight, I don't see one that sticks. Golden State's a 7-point favorite home against Toronto. Leonard's questionable, but I think he's going to go. Toronto money line play as well. But to play some games, maybe small bets, just PA dogs and just watch the scores roll in, because this is a night that I'm expecting to see like a 8-2 night in the NBA.
Brian, how about you, buddy?
Got my eye on the Portland-Memphis game. Open 205.5. It's been bet down to 201. Did you ever think we would look at a total at 201 and go, wow, that is a low total? But it's pretty darn low for the modern NBA. And I think there's value. I think that the total is too low, and I'm playing over in Memphis, Portland over 201.
Okay, so we got 3 NBAs. We got Washington plus game 540 plus 3, Detroit plus 5.5, Portland, Memphis over 201. How about college?
All right. Well, Jimbo asked earlier about any college play. Again, I'm not as into college right now. I do know when I see sharp accounts all game, I know for the most part it's the right side, and it tends to win. So, I've seen game 709, Tennessee plus 14.5 at Georgia State tonight. Been bet around in a bunch of sharp accounts, so I'm going to go with them. Let them, dictate who's going to cover in this game. I'm going to give that one out to Jimbo. Game 709, Tennessee 14.5.
But this game opened 18 or 18.5, though, right?
No, opened 14.5. It hasn't really moved.
Are you sure? I mean, it's been bet down. I seen it in some sharp accounts early today at plus 16.
I'm just looking at. Oh, you know what? I'm looking at the Pinnacle opener. Maybe Pinnacle came out later than other books.
Which? I'm sorry. Which game was that?
It's Tennessee Chattanooga against Georgia State.
Yeah. Sharp accounts took 16 and 16.5 this morning. I believe, because.
Okay, sorry, Frank. You're right.
Yeah.
I guess it did open like 18. I was strictly looking at the Pinnacle opener at 14.5.
But so we still like it at 14.5. Anything else we got for it? All right, we can give Jimbo a little bonus play here.
Brian?
I'll take a flyer on Southern Illinois against Murray State. They're getting 2. I've seen that in a lot of sharp accounts.
Southern Illinois plus 2 over Murray State?
Minus 2.
Minus 2.
Sorry, minus 2.
Minus 2.
Yeah.
I saw some NHL, but I guess it's moved too much, so we don't want to do that.
Hey, Frank, have you been following the? We might want to save this for. We'll talk about this tomorrow, but I just throw it out there now. We talked about the prop bet of the guy that was going to stay in a bathroom for a month for $100,000.
Oh, well, save it. We'll be right back. Save it for the break. We'll use it on the final segment.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah, it's over. I'll tell you how it ended in a second.
Oh, okay. Yeah, save it. We'll be right back. Fifth Street Sports.
Hi, Rick Tittle here. You may know me as the sports talk host that can talk about all sports: football, basketball, baseball, hockey, soccer, golf, tennis, auto racing, boxing, Olympics, rollerball. But this time I'm here to talk about pain. If you have pain in your knee or your back like I do, then you should know about the Health Alert Hotline. If Medicare is your primary insurance, then you could qualify for a back or knee brace at little or no charge. I have an old injury from my football playing days, and anything that can help take that pain away and make it more manageable, that has my attention. I love the free delivery, and they take care of the paperwork for you. So if you have Medicare and need help for back, ankle, knee, or shoulder pain, please call the Health Alert Hotline at 800-428-1570. That's 800-428-1570. Agents are standing by 24/7, so go ahead and call now. 800-428-1570.
Attention to anyone that's written a book or wants to write a book. The process is not that complicated. Take a first step. Even if you write a page a day, you'll build momentum and your book will become a reality. The hard part is getting it published. That's when you need to call Page Publishing. They've got hundreds and hundreds of thank yous from different new authors, just like you. They make the process of publishing your new book and getting it sold online a simple process. You can learn how simple it is right now by calling for your free Page Publishing New Author Submission Kit. One quick 3-minute phone call, that's all it takes to get free information and learn how you can get your book published. Pick up your phone right now and call us 24 hours a day at this number. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. 800-603-0885. That's 800-603-0885.
Remember in the beginning, when you first started to build a life for you and your family, you never imagined it would come to this. Instead of living your dreams, you're living with debt. In fact, it's smothering you. Now there's a way you can take back control with one simple call. If you owe $10,000 or more in credit card debt, you qualify to receive a free, no-obligation consultation on how to get rid of that debt for good. Call the Debt Helpline now. We work on your behalf to reduce your debt. We specialize in credit cards, retail store cards, and medical bills. One simple call is all it takes to get the ball rolling to a debt-free life. Stop living with debt and start living your dreams. Call the Debt Helpline now.
800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. 800-957-6063. That's 800-957-6063.
All right, folks, we're back. Fifth Street Sports. Frank Perez, Oklahoma, Brian, Florida, Rick. Brian, just before we left the air, you were going to bring us back on a contest that just got wrapped up today. Why don't you share that with us?
Okay, Rick actually knows the story a little better than I do, but basically there was a prop bet between a couple of poker guys, and the bet was basically, can one guy stay in a dark, locked bathroom for 30 days? And if he can pull it off, he wins $100,000. If he can't, he loses $100,000. So the thing lasted 20 days. And on the 20th day, I guess they negotiated through the door, talking to one another, and they agreed to a $62,000 buyout. So the guy ends the contest after 20 days for $62,000. I'm shocked he made it that long.
Wow.
And wonder what kind of damage was done to him as a result.
Well, Rick, what was some of the stuff there? Like, well, what kind? Like, some of the rules. What did he get to eat, or was there light?
No light. He can eat whatever he wanted. There was no. He could order any food anytime. He'd have someone bring it in. I guess there was like a intercom or something, food, but he had no light, no cell phone, no computer. There's nothing kind of light. So it was pitch black. 30. Well, it was supposed to be 30 straight days. He had a bed and a bathroom. I think a refrigerator and nothing else. And
so no watch, no nothing. He didn't even know how long he had been in there, right? Oh, boy,
right. And they wouldn't like give him food on regular intervals. So he couldn't figure, okay, well, they just brought food, so in 8 more hours, they'll bring more food. No, they'll bring him food now. They'll bring him 2 hours, and they'll bring him in 10 hours, and they'll bring him another hour. So they just kept mixing it up so that he could never figure out, like, by the food intervals what time it was. Yeah.
Guys,
so it was kind of a cruel bet, but yeah, supposedly he actually kind of won.
Could you just imagine that after like 10, 11, 12 days, you don't even know what's going on. Like, end this, please. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah, he should be given to a university now for experiments.
Hey, guys, thanks for listening and watching to the show. We'll be back tomorrow, 1 p.m. Pacific, 4 p.m. Eastern. We appreciate you. American Forces Network, thank you. Sports Byline. See you tomorrow, 5th Street Sports.